just a minute or two on it here. But Curtis, the question really for me is not whether or not there are bats that can help you. It's whether or not you're willing to give up prospect to get those bats, knowing that 1 or 2 bats might not be enough. Mm-hmm. And if your answer is, I am so out on this team and on this offense that I don't want to give up any prospects because I don't even think a really good bat would help, then you're looking at it going pure sell. I can't yet bring myself to do that, even though I acknowledge that 1 or 2 bats might not be enough. I cannot bring myself to just say, give up on it. Right. You're in first place with a team that in my adult life has been to the playoffs once. Frankly, in my childhood life. Like since I was a very young child, has been to the playoffs one time. I am not all in on selling. I am not co-signing that approach.
No, especially in first place. No first place team should ever have that mindset.
That's kind of pathetic, to be frank.
I don't want to see a trade deadline like we saw last year where there were a lot of lateral moves or moves where it's like, hey, we'll give up something for this season if it shores things up for next year. Like, I don't want to think about next year's roster in 2024 when you're leading the division. Like, I want to think about winning this division. I want to think about this team in the playoffs and having a fighting chance. Like, it's not enough anymore to just get back to the playoffs here in Seattle. For so long, that was the conversation. Like, just get us to the playoffs. Cal Raleigh hits the home run that, wipes away 20 years of frustration, fine. But now it's like, okay, we have gotten that taste. The Mariners still haven't scored a run in a home playoff game since 2001.
Yeah, 2001, guys. That was a long time ago. Like, I can't stress enough.
Stan Javier had the last RBI by a Mariners player at a home playoff game.
And think about that. And then think about the idea of folding at the deadline because your offense is so horrible. Yeah. You have too good a rotation and, frankly, a first-place standing that feels very, very vulnerable, but a first-place standing. And I refuse to look at those two things and think, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Do you think suddenly all these prospects are coming up next year? They're not.
Right. They're like 2 years away.
Yeah.
Tyler Locklear is the closest guy to the big league level, and they sent him back down.
Yeah.
Like, you are still a couple years away from seeing the fruits of this farm system pay off.
These are not rookies that are going to come up and help you and you can turn this around. And you also are not guaranteed to have this rotation. The Mariners are in a really unfortunate spot of having a really solid rotation that is mostly healthy when Wu isn't hurt, is healthy right now. And then having one of the worst offenses I've ever seen constructed here.
Truly.
It's atrocious. And we'll spend parts of the show wondering, like, what's wrong? Is it Scott? Is it coaching? Is it the philosophy in the organization? Is it the front office setting them up for failure? Is it a budget from ownership that sets the front office up for failure no matter what? Like, what is it? Really, it's multiple things when you have a problem this big. But it is not one that makes me kind of wash my hands clean of it and move on.